Hi, welcome to this SQL tutorial video on variables. We're going to look at variables in a little bit more detail. We're going to look at the way we can use variables slightly differently to the usual equals to or greater than. And also we're going to look how we can assign variables a value based on a piece of SQL. So first of all, on screen you can see I've got SQL that I was using in my introduction to variables tutorial video, and as I explained in that video, a variable is an object that is created to hold a single piece of data. So if we look at this example here, we've got a variable called @type. It is a text variable. It's going to store the word instant, and then we can run that against the commands below. But what if I want to say is like rather than is equal to? So let me just comment that out and say, but remember our syntax from the video that talks about the like syntax. If we look at this, if we forget about variables for a second, this is the syntax that we need to use. So we say ft type like, and then we surround our string, our text, with percent signs, and that makes the syntax for like work. So for variables we need to mimic that. So if we just put like and we run that, all it's doing is it's saying it's like instant. Without the percent signs, it's just doing an equals to. So we need to build the syntax up. And in order to do that, we need to concatenate our variable with the percent signs. And I'll show you what I mean. So what that now is saying is ft type like percent instant percent, because that's what the value of our @type, which is exactly what the line below is doing. So that we run that will now work. Now what you can't do, or you certainly can't do very easily, is you can't do in. So if I were to change this to be instant comma sorcery, and if I were to say and ft type in, it needs to be in brackets, @type, if I run that, that will not work. It doesn't see the comma separated value as two values. It sees it as one value. So it just says the type is in instant comma sorcery, as in one bit of text. So now there's ways around that, and we'll cover that in another video. But in isn't something that can easily be done, but like is fine. So now let's try and look at two other things using one example. So let us say instead of the type, we'll say and ft summon value equals 5, and I'll just copy that and we'll move that down here. Now I'm going to change this to be well, no, actually I'm going to declare another variable. So we can have as many variables as we like, and the way we declare more variables, we could type declare @summon, and that would declare as a new variable. But we've already got declare. We've already got declare typed there. So while it's already typed there, we don't need to do it again. So if we do, if we just go to a new line, or we can stay on the same line. But the point is that we separate our variables with a comma, like a field in a table. Field, comma, field, comma, field. So variables the same thing. Your declarations are separated by commas if you've got more than one. And I'm going to call this summon, and we'll give it a data type of int. And I'm going to give summon, I want to get rid of what was there with control R. I'm going to give set summon equals 5. And that will now, as we've seen in the previous video, work for that. So that's fine. However, what if we want to assign this value based on the result of another piece of code? So let us think of please just bear me a second while I quickly get this knocked up. One sec. So if I do select max sum and value from my table where these three folders, where the folder is one of these three. So the result of that is 12. What if I want to then use that value in other queries? Well, I can assign that value to my variable, and the way I do that is I say select at summon equals that value. And just to prove that, I'm going to show the value of my variable here. So if I run this, it's declaring the variables here, it's populating the variables, it's populating now my variable to be this value, and then it's presenting it here. So actually, if I do, if I show the value here and here, you will see that it's declared, it's assigned a value of 5, there it is, there's the value, then it's reassigned a value 12, and there it is, you can see here. So that's good, that's what we need. So then we can, if I just don't need this anymore. But then because of that, this now becomes 12. So all of these will be using the number 12 as part of their queries. So if I execute that, so there is only one folder that has entries with a sum and value of 12, the other two don't, that's fine. I could then say actually that my sum of value equals max less 2, so it'll equal 10. If I run that, let me see why that hasn't worked. In order to see the value of my variable, I do the select. So let's see what we need to do here. Oh, so maybe there aren't any. Let's do -3. Oh, that's better. There you go. So we've assigned the variable here based on this query, and then we've proven what our variable is holding here, and then we've used it on our queries here. That's the end of this video. I hope you found it helpful.